Hi, I'm Rob and welcome to another T.W White Sons video review. Today's car is an Alpine A110 Premier Edition. So, many people aren't really aware of an Alpine. Now, the vehicle is something which was Renault based, created by a Frenchman called Jean, out of Dieppe in northern France, and this was back as far as 1955. So there's going to be a bunch of people in this world that are appreciative of Alpine and the brand and what they offer, and there'll be some people that just won't know much about it, and that's my job today, to give you an insight. So the car is actually styled on the 1970s A110, so it carries the name. It's got lots of similarities. The styling, which is more retro driven, its rear engines, this being a 1.8 petrol turbocharged car, so that's 248 horsepower running through a 7-speed double clutch gearbox. Rear wheel drive, of course, and with a special E-diff. There's no limited slip diff as you'd find in other sports car, so it has an ability to brake a rear wheel, keep the car stable, and make the car perform excellently in bends. Part of that excellent performance is its lightweight, so it's 1100 kilos. So just to put a perspective on that, a PDK equipped Porsche Cayman is about 1400 kilos. So that extra weight saving will just mean the car actually rides beautifully on the road, steering is nice and dynamic, and the car just really gets on down the road in a nice lightweight, I guess Lotus style fashion. And funnily enough, northern France, Dieppe, is far closer to the UK than Heffel, where Lotuses are made. So you could argue this is a bit of a closer relationship with the UK, and the UK love a sports car, of course. We're the most famous purchasers of MX-5s, Lotus. So yeah, we really know our cars, and for Renault and the French to come out with this, what a stunner. So Renault's involvement, they actually purchased Alpine back in 1973 off the back of Jean's rallying successes, and of course 1976 actually merged with Renault Sport, so there will be a bunch of people now that will be familiar with Renault Sport. This is everything from your Clio, your Megans, the Renault Spider, so again a nice bit of heritage there. Now, it's gone full circle. Renault Sport fundamentally stopped when they finished making the Megane trophy, and this allowed the Alpine to come in and take place. So it's even built by the same fellas in Dieppe by the Renault Sport guys. So, a little bit of background history. The car really is a Porsche Cayman rival, a Lotus Evora perhaps, certainly a Mazda MX-5, but you're talking a handful of cars that would rival this vehicle. So we've acquired this vehicle recently. It has got literally 2,800 miles. Very, very low mileage for a 7-year-old vehicle. The car's in absolutely stunning condition. And I will come and start looking at the car because I'm getting dizzy here. So let's focus on the great bits. The front styling. Now, this mimics again the A110 from the 1970s. The whole car is a homage, not a pastiche, a homage to that car. We have LED headlamps at the front. We have cast alloy wheels. Again, this is part of the Premier Edition. The blue Alpine brake calipers, and again, being a very lightweight car, they're not huge discs, but it doesn't need it. As I come past the car, spec-wise, keyless entry, and of course at the back, it's again air vents as you have the engine in the rear, so it's almost Porsche-esque. A lovely central exhaust with an air diffuser at the bottom. Rear parking sensors. Again, visibility is pretty decent for the car that it is, but the sensors would always help. So not one mark, no stone chips, absolutely nothing to note condition wise on this particular vehicle. We have the Flying A. So let's enter the cabin. So, part of the Premier Edition spec. So this was the launch cars. This is a 2018 car. The car was launched in 2017. And the first thing I'm going to zoom in on is the plaque. So, this car is 1,455 of 1955. Again, there's a significance to that number. That was when Alpine was created. So, looking at the interior, we have a leather and Alcantara seat with the classic blue Alpine stitching. Absolutely no bolster wear, as you can imagine with such a low mileage. And again, coming onto the door, body coloured of course to match the externals. A really nice quilted leather door panel with the company stitch below. and of course proudly displaying its Frenchness with the tricolor there. Coming in, carbon fibre pieces, again with a leather wrap dash with a blue stitch, onto a very small steering wheel, again nice and speedy with its response. It's got a suede top part and of course a blue leather centre line, so if you're really wanging your car you can always work out which way the front wheels are facing. Two rather nice looking aluminium paddles, again to fly through the 7-speed gearbox. We have a sport mode, so again that will sharpen the gearbox. I will start the car shortly. It improves the exhaust notes, of which the Premier Edition has an upgraded exhaust. The Subout seats are again standard to this car. So once they'd made all 1955, they became two other derivatives, one being called a Pure, and I can't quite remember the name of the other one. Looking at the centre console, you've got a floating console, again blue stitch, more carbon fibre, again promoting the lightness. It's actually got a full aluminium monocoque, this car, which is where it gains its 1100 kilos weight. So again, like Lotus, well, lightness is a virtue. You can put smaller brakes, the car rides better, hit faster accelerating, and again it's only a 1.8 turbo, so a really decent fuel economy if driven properly. We've also got Renault's classic fingertip volume controls and control for the audio, and that's been around since the 1980s. You would have seen that in many Renault cars in the past. Coming in, a really nice driving environment, actually quite a lot of room in here. It's not cramped in any shape or form. Of course there are new rear seats, that's where the engine lives, and again just a nice finish to the vehicle. Some of it's a bit more Renault-y, but hey ho, it's lightweight, so we can't argue with that. So ready to start the car. Foot on brake, press the start button, and it fires up with a little flourish. So I'm just going to drop this down a bit. So we're looking around the car here. So we have lovely leather-boat lounge steering wheel with Alcantara trimmings on the bottom. The bottom's flat bottoms. It is adjustable, and again you can just adjust the steering column to suit. You can put it close to your chest. You've got the paddles here, which you can zip up and down the 7 speeds. We have a digital display system, and again the sport button I mentioned earlier. Give it a push. There's a deeper tone to the engine. It changes the driver display. And then when you rev it, there is a little bit of a pop. Everyone loves a pop. Coming across, the infotainment system, which is digital radio. It's got inbuilt navigation, and of course your normal phone connection with Bluetooth. Again, below that we have climate control. It's a manually adjustable one, but it is precise, so you can set it at a very specific temperature. Coming down, we've then got the PRND, again just there's no shifter, you just touch the button. Obviously you've got the big start button as well, and even down there for when you're driving and cruising you've got cruise control and a speed limiter. Now where you've got the car's capabilities, you've got a really supportive Subout bucket seat, an aluminium foot brace. Again we have a similar aluminium pedal set for the driver as well, of course bearing in mind it's an auto, so there's only a brake pedal and a throttle. And yeah, really nicely trimmed, nice bits of aluminium in there, nice bit of carbon fibre, nice bit of leather. Yeah, what a nice interior place to sit. So as you can see, 2,772 miles only. It's got an amazing MOT history. I believe there's 4 or 5 miles between each MOT, so I think the person that owned it before us bought it as an investment and kept the mileage low and the condition great. So let's hop back out. Here we go. So we have a 2-owner. I say owners. 2 owners, sorry, 2,772 miles. It is a Premier Edition. This is an exclusive car. They only made 1955. As I say, this is into the high 1400s. So one of the last cars really made and sold before they moved on to 2 distinct grades further to that. So these are the ones to seek out. They've got lots of extra niceties built into them. So yeah, come and see our lovely Alpine 110 Premier Edition. What a car. So we can help fund your purchase. We will take a part exchange against this vehicle. So we're looking forward to hearing from you. Come and see this awesome vehicle.